So I'll be starting in three, two, and one. So good evening, everyone, the honorable chair members, and my dear fellow mates. So first of all, happy New Year to you all. Like already, sir has said us happy New Year. But I would like to ask you a question: that how many of you actually shook hands of your close ones and wished them happy New Year? I think not many of you. The reason must be you must be texting them the happy new year or sending them the GIF files. So this is what our generation has actually latched into. Nowadays, more than the physical contacts, we are just building the online contacts. And at some point, we don't even know to whom are we talking. So let me renounce the motion of the house once again. The motion is social media is harmful for young generation. So let me make it very clear. The young generation which we are talking about here is the young generation or the population part which cannot take decisions on themselves. So now, the first point which I would like to present is the harmful impact on mental health of people. So usually the people who actually just scroll through the social media a lot, they foster anxiety, depressions, have low self-esteem due to the constant comparison, due to unrealistic borders or comparison which they have faced. So now, the study showed by the Royal Health Society actually has proven that Instagram is now the world's most detrimental social media platform. The second point which I would like to say is addiction and time wastage. Nowadays, usually the teens or the young generation are actually hooked up to their mobile phones. What they do is they just scroll over they just scroll over the social media and just waste their time and get distracted from the productive work, or they get distracted from the studies. What harmful effect they will be having? They actually suffer later in their life and they destroy their future. But also there might be arguments from many from the opposition side that social media can help them to gain more knowledge or get exposure to the wide variety of platforms. But that is not true. Even when social media was not there, people used to get exposure from different parts of the society. There is a research, a Pew Research Center showed that 45% of people or 45% of young generation who are actually hooked to their mobile phones get hooked to the social medias definitely. Now there are also cases of cyberbullying and exploitation. I would like to mention a major example of Amanda Todd. Amanda Todd was a 15-year-old girl from Canada, but she was cyberbullied by a Dutchman from Netherlands. This example clearly shows us that how cyberbullying can actually face and turn into different and extreme consequences. Social media platforms are a threat to the society. They expose children to many explicit content which they are not supposed to be. The major point which I would like to present is erosion from real world life skills. Usually, when people or the young generation scroll a lot through social media and get dependent on the social media, they miss the real world contact. What they do is they lack the real life skills which they are needed. They just gain knowledge from Instagram or the different social media platforms and miss the real world life practical solutions. Who are the stakeholders in this case? The parents, the scholars, and even the children and the society. They are the major stakeholders in this case. Now, the last point which I would like to present to support the motion is spread of misinformation. Nowadays, social media has turned into a platform for misinformation than information. There are different platforms for information. If the opposition argues that social media can help us spread information at a faster basis, but I would like to say then that there are different other social media platforms like there are different other platforms except the social media which can help spread the information. And the major example which I would like to present is, now we are having a book fair. If social media platform was so good, why are we even having a book fair in physical world? We can even have it directly on social media. We can create a Zoom meeting or we can create a Google Meet and we can have book fair and we can have a display over that. But still we are having the physical copies of book. So even the education, this proves that children actually need the education and the real touch of books, and that is why we need the physical presence of books and different things which help students to gain different practical world life situations. Now, by supporting this, I would like to present a model. This model actually regulates the usage of social media. First, there should be an age restriction on usage of social media. Second, there should be time restriction on the usage of social media. Also, there should be a content moderation and transparency. algorithm transparency is very much needed in nowadays because algorithm transparency is there. I would like to conclude with this. Thank you so much.
इतने जोश के साथ बोला उसने, जोश के लिए एक ताली तो बनता है. Please put your hands together for this enthusiasm. This is something we look forward, and let me tell you very frankly, besides the scoring system, I wish the passion he showed should be visible in every of this young generation. Do it passionately. May it be a debate, may it be a speech, may it be whatever, may it be chasing your dreams. I wish you best of luck. Now, let me ask Reshmi Shorkar from ICFA University, Agartala, Tripura. She will be speaking against the motion.
Good evening, esteemed house and respected judges. I am Reshmi Sarkar from ICFA University Tripura, presenting against the motion that social media is harmful for the young generation. The motion in the house today poses a very important and thought-provoking question. Although today we are looking at the motion through a very polarized lens as good or bad, we have to acknowledge the fact that good and bad, vice and virtue exists in a world together. So whatever we consume, whatever an individual consumes, it's their own preference, it's their own right, and they do it. So if we talk about addiction, like our last speaker said, if we talk about addiction, when we talk about young people, we are talking about people who are above 16 years old. When we talk about children, the responsibility falls on the parents. Okay, and when we talk about people who are above 16 years old and who are adults, that is their own responsibility as to what type of content they are going to consume, how much they are going to consume, and for how long they are going to consume. Social media addiction is a new term because we have had addictions for years. We have had drug addictions, we have had alcohol addictions, many bad and worse addictions. So if people can come out of worse situations, why is a mobile phone that is made by mankind has made mankind its slave? Because man is not supposed to work like that. A man is supposed to be responsible and accountable. So to talk about the benefits of social media, I would like to start with the educational aspect. In today's world, social media is a very, very important part of everyone's life. Not only important, it is integral as well. So, if we have social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, because all of this comes under social media, if we have platforms like that and a person is consuming that type of content only, then how does that become harmful? So, and then we have community building. He said that we have had communities for years, but did we have the global reach we have today? Did we have the means to know about the Israel-Palestine war? Did we have the means to know about Russia-Ukraine? Did we have the means to know what's happening to marginalized communities in Somalia and Iran and Afghanistan before today? Did TV cover all of the bits and pieces that we are supposed to know about these situations? How do we know about this today? Because they are running social media accounts that are showing the truth of today's world. And then they are also calling for protest and collective action through social media. Because in Iran, the women are using Instagram and Facebook to call for protest against the authoritarian government. Okay, and it is accessible to everyone. We have a phone in every person's hand these days. Even a person who is below the poverty line has a smartphone in their hand. So it is accessible to everyone. All sorts of information is accessible to everyone. And when we talk about the communication aspect, that we have communicated before as well, before social media existed. But the form of communication has changed over time. We have had telephones, then we have had internet, we have had telegrams and faxes, and now we have social media right on our hands, and the whole world is on our hands. How can that be harmful for a young person who is trying to get to know the world better? And he also told about the algorithm. That algorithm has to be, fair, and it has to be, told to the users how the algorithm works. But the algorithm is going to show you what you engage with. That's how basically the algorithm works. So if someone is seeing explicit content on their phone, it is because they're engaging with explicit content. It's not because Facebook wants to show this to them. And then we have about the misinformation. Misinformation can be refuted with one single Google search. And when we talk about why we are having physical book fairs and why don't we use social media for all sorts of community building exercises, we have to acknowledge the fact that we have to exist in a world where the internet and the physical exist together, where it coexists in perfect harmony, and that will come from media literacy. So instead of focusing on whether social media is good or bad, we should be focusing on teaching children media literacy. We should be focusing on teaching parents media literacy for their children, because there are videos on YouTube Kids that have explicit content in them. So today, instead of questioning the good and bad of something that mankind has given us, that has made the world so small, that has condensed the world into someone's palm, we should focus on how we can help people navigate social media better. With this, I would like to conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashmi. Rashmi also spoke with huge confidence. It's good. Rather, later on we'll try to dig, where do you have so much confidence? Whether it is from social media or from somewhere else. We'll come to that later on. That is again beyond the scope of my competition, our competition rather. Now, may I request ICFA University, Saratomba Singho. He is speaking for the motion. Saratomba Singho. Saratomba, you are from Manipur. Are kya baat hai? Chalo. Saratomba Singha from ICFA University for the motion.
Good evening, everyone present over here. I would like to address the issue for the motion of the House today. My name is Saratomba Singha, and I'm here to talk about how social media is actually harmful for the younger generation. First point which I would like to put forward is the fact that mental health crisis is the main issue of our generation, because in this generation you will never find anybody not talking about how bad they feel about their day, because only through social media you are able to get these things onto you in the algorithm, because of which these thoughts are reinforced into your mind and you feel bad day after day, and because of that mental health crisis is the issue of the hour. And along with that, I would like to talk about the addiction symptoms that are, coming up nowadays in everybody's mind, because it's only social media which is so addictive in nature, because of which we are not able to come out of the trap that we get into once we start using it. Small children are the biggest victim of the addiction symptom, because of which small children develop a tendency to always look on their phones, especially open the apps like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp and all that. And that is not to get information out of it, but actually to waste their time including content that is not actually good for them. And because of which a new term has come into existence, the term called brain rot. And if you think about all these things, why do you think the term brain rot has actually come into existence? It's not because of anything else. It's because of social media. It's because of internet. It's because of the .com virus which has entered our lives. And now, the next thing which I'd like to talk about is the unrealistic standard and comparison. Of course, on social media, everybody here, we like to dress well, but not for ourselves anymore, because we are here to impress people on the app. We are here for the likes, we're here for the comments, we're here for the shares, we're here for the compliments from the people. We don't really do anything for ourselves anymore. We do it for the people who are looking at us. The next thing which I'd like to talk about is the unrealistic expectation, like I said, because unrealistic expectations comes at the top list of the social media expansion, because the fact that everyone here is allowed to do whatever they want, it sets people to build that image for themselves and from everyone else, because of which they start dressing up in such weird fashion, like people like Urvi. So they are dressing up in such ways not because they want to get they want to do it for themselves. It's because they want the attention out of the thing that people find attractive on the social media platform. Now, the next thing which I will talk about is the cyberbullying epidemic. Why cyberbullying? Because I mean, when you are able to use an account which is anonymous and you're not able, you're not even showing your face, you're not revealing your identity, you get that power, the inner human instinct of becoming, wild and completely, savage comes out on top. And that is why on Instagram, when we look at the comment section, you will find people, blatantly bashing out comments that nobody would dare to say in real life. And it is only possible because of the screen that you're sitting behind. And how is this happening? Social media, my friends. Next thing which I'd like to talk about here is the misinformation and manipulation. I mean, all of us here are of a certain age, but younger generation, like the 15, 16-year-old people who are actually a very, very integral part of the younger generation, all of these people are, always exposed to things on social media which might be misinformation because they don't verify the sources that they're coming from, because you don't actually see the sources which they are being, the sources which are actually displaying the information on your screen. So because of that, misinformation spreads more quickly. I mean, just think about the WhatsApp forwards you keep getting all day, right? And along with that, the next thing which I'd like to talk about is manipulation. Manipulation is so integral because manipulation is so easily done by the older people onto the younger people, because they can manipulate the thoughts and emotions of the younger people. And along with that, the last thing which I'd like to talk about is the sleep deprivation factor. Most of the people stay online at around 2 or 3 a.m. at night. For what reason? Except using social media for bad reasons. I don't want to talk about the reasons here. Next thing which I'd like to talk about is the drop in attention span. Microsoft itself, the biggest software company in the world, has done research and it has found that 8 seconds is the attention span of humans, which is less than a goldfish. I mean, are we so dumb to have become, to be compared to a goldfish these days? So yeah, that is what the Homo sapiens have come down to. And with that, I would like to conclude my speech by saying that social media is the most harmful tool for this young generation. Thank you.
The motion was social media is harmful for the young generation, and my young friend so nicely concluded it is the most harmful thing. Yeah, what a conclusion you have drawn, my dear friend. It's good. And as you have said, the young generation of 15, 16 years of age, it sounds rather brilliant. See, I thought you belong to the young generation, and still you are addressing to the younger generation. Kudos to you. Keep it up. It's very nice that you are so concerned about your brothers and sisters. Very good. Keep it up. Now the next is from AGMC, Miss Tanya Bhaumik. Tanya, please come. She'll be voicing for the against the motion. Tanya Bhaumik.
Imagine a world where every voice is heard, every talent is recognized, and every opportunity is accessible. Yes, this is the power of social media. A very good evening to one and all present here. My name is Tanya Bhaumik. I am a first year MBBS student at AGMC, and today I stand here to firmly speak against the motion social media is harmful for young generation. We have all experienced the very mentally disturbing COVID era. At that time, the only learning tool available to the students was this very social media. Students used YouTube to view lectures. They used WhatsApp to gain access to the links sent by their teachers to attend online classes. Not only this, social media democratizes education. It makes education available at a very low cost, which bridges the gap between the rich and the poor. A survey done by KPMG reveals that 74% of the Indian youth use social media for education and learning purposes. One of my very worthy components just mentioned that social media is a form of addiction. Students are wasting their valuable time, and they are having a low academic performance and all. But this very social media is helping many of the youth, many of the students who cannot afford high coaching fees to get all those quality content at the ease of their home and at a very affordable rate. Secondly, social media, social media provides many career prospects to young generation through platforms such as LinkedIn and Upwork. It is revealed through a survey done by the LinkedIn Opportunity Index that 62% of the youth have found better career prospects using the social media. Social media also encourages safe climatic practices. Movements such as hashtag Save Ganga, hashtag Say No to Plastic have encouraged millions of youth to practice safe climate practices. It also helps to raise money during medical emergency by crowdfunding through various platforms Milab, such as Milab and Keto. Social media promotes financial literacy among the youth. Many of the content creators, such as C.A. Rachna Ranade, use social media to teach the youth about financial management. According to a survey conducted by NASCOM, it is revealed that 40% of the youth credit social media for their better financial understanding. Yeah, my worthy opponent just mentioned that the youth are getting addicted to the social media, wasting their time and all using the social media. Same social media is giving them better career prospects, better career opportunities, and also giving them more clearer instinct about how to manage their finances. Mental health, yes. Many of my opponents just mentioned that social media is derailing our mental health. But many such campaigns such as hashtag it's okay to talk, hashtag your dost, talk to an angel, which are carried out by various NGOs reach many of the youngsters, and it is revealed that 57% of the youngsters get benefited from these campaigns. Yeah, social media also help us amplify our voice and drive social change. Movements like hashtag Justice for Nirbhaya gain momentum because of social media. I do believe that the protest can happen in a physical form, but the physical form protest creates more social havoc, more inconvenience to the common public. But the social media provides a convenient way to raise our voices without causing any harm to the general public. Yeah, many of my opponents just mentioned that 15, 16-year-old youngsters are getting affected by the social media. They are cyberbullied. A same 16-year-old girl named Ridhima Pandey became a global activist, global climate activist with the help of this social media. Lastly, I would like to conclude by saying that social media is not a menace. It is our transformative tool, which, if used wisely, can give us great opportunities and give us a chance to transform this world. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. She was from GMC, Tania Bhomik, speaking against the motion. Now may I request Kishan Loshkar from MBBU. Kishan, please come. Kishan বলবে আমাদের আজকের যে বিতর্ক সভার বিষয় তার পক্ষে is Kishan Loshkar from MBBU speaking for the motion. Yeah.
নমস্কার সবাইকে, আমি কৃষাণ লস্কর এমবিবি ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে। আজকের আমাদের যে মোশন আছে, আমি মোশনের
বই মেলা লাইরিক মেলা
আমার পূর্ববর্তী বক্তারা অনেক কিছুই বলেছে, তো আমি একটা কথাই বলতে চাই। আমার এই সকল বক্তব্য শুনে আমার একটা কথা খুব বেশি মনে পড়ছে, হীরক রাজা দেশের কথা। তো ওটাতে বলেছিল যে এরা যত বেশি জানে তত বেশি বোঝে, আর ঠিক ততটাই কম মানে। তো আমাদের এই যে এতক্ষণ আমরা শুনলাম সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া ভালো, এটা করছে সেটা করছে, সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া আমাদের হাতের মুঠোয় পুরো দুনিয়াটাকে এনে দিচ্ছে, সত্যি হাতের মুঠোয় দুনিয়াটাকে এনে দিয়েছে, কিন্তু আনতে গিয়ে কি করেছে? আনতে গিয়ে আজকে আমরা যখন এই বই মেলাতে আসছি তখন বাড়িতে গিয়ে আগে খুঁজছি যে কটা ভালো ছবি তুলেছি, এটা দেখছি না কটা ভালো বই কিনেছি, কটা ভালো বই এসেছে। কিন্তু আমরা কি করছি? আমরা বাড়িতে গিয়ে আগে, আমি আজকে বই মেলায় গিয়েছি এটা 10 জনকে জানাতে বইটা দেখছি, আর 10 জনকে জানাতে গিয়ে আমি কি হারিয়ে ফেলেছি? আমি হারিয়ে ফেলেছি এখানে যে অমূল্য জ্ঞান ছিল ওইটা হারিয়ে ফেলেছি। আমার পূর্ববর্তী বক্তা কিছুক্ষণ আগে বলেছিল যে সিএ রচনা রানাডে আমাদের ফিনান্সের ব্যাপারে অনেক কিছু বলছে, কিন্তু হয়তো পূর্ববর্তী বক্তা হারিয়ে ফেলেছে যে সেবি বলেছে এই বছর 2024 এ সেবি তার নিজের রিপোর্ট দিয়েছে। নিজের রিপোর্টে কি বলেছে? বলেছে যে অলমোস্ট 93% মানুষ এফএনও আর ইকুইটিতে তাদের টাকা হারিয়েছে। কেন হারিয়েছে? এই সিএ রচনা রানাডে তার জন্য কি দায়বদ্ধতা নেবে? উনি তো ভালো ইনভেস্টমেন্ট করে বসে আছে ওনার ঘরে। আর তাছাড়া এই সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে যে পরিমাণে স্টক মার্কেটকে ঊর্ধ্বগতিতে তোলা হয়েছে সেই পরিমাণে কোনোভাবেই সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে বলা হয়নি যে না এটা আপনারা করবেন না, আপনাদের কষ্টার্জিত টাকা যেটা আপনারা ইনকাম করেছেন ওইটা হারিয়ে যাবে। তো ম্যাক্সিমাম মানুষ কি সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে ফেসবুক করলে ইনস্টাগ্রাম করলে 4টে রিল বদলেই দেখা যায় যে আমি আজকে 1 লাখ টাকা ট্রেড নিয়েছি 5 লাখ টাকা ইনকাম করেছি, কিন্তু সত্যি কি সবাই কেটে দেখেছে কে কতটা পেয়েছে? এসবিআই সিকিউরিটিজ বলেছে টোটাল কোভিডে আমাদের 20 মান্থস, কোভিডের মধ্যে মানুষ সবসময় ঘরে ছিল, সারাক্ষণ ঘরে ছিল, তাদের কাছে কিছুই ছিল না। আমার পূর্ববর্তী বক্তারা বলেছে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ায় ছিল যখন মানুষকে একসাথে একজনের সাথে অপরজনকে একত্র করেছে, সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ায় ছিল যে আপনার সাথে আমার যোগাযোগ রক্ষা করেছে, জ্ঞান অর্জন করেছে। আমি একবারও অস্বীকার করছি না জ্ঞান অর্জন করেছে, কিন্তু তার সাথে কিছু বিষও এসে গেছে। আজ থেকে কি হয়েছে? এসবিআই সিকিউরিটিজ বলেছে যেখানে 1997 থেকে 2022 অবধি আমাদের 11 crore ডিমেট অ্যাকাউন্ট হয়েছে, সেই জায়গায় শুধু 20 মান্থসের মধ্যে চলাকালীন তৈরি হয়েছে 17 লক্ষ ডিমেট অ্যাকাউন্ট। কার দৌড়তে? এইটার জন্য সম্পূর্ণভাবে দায়ী ছিল সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া, কারণ ওইখানে বসে বসে সবাই ইনফ্লুয়েন্স করছিল যে আপনিও আসুন ঘরে বসে টাকা কামান, অফিস তো বন্ধ কিন্তু স্টক মার্কেট তো চালু আছে। তাছাড়া আমি বলতে চাই যে এই সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে যেখানে আমরা নিজেদের দাম্পত্য দেখাতে চাই, নিজেদের আমরা ওইটাকে কি বলে সেলফ রেস্ট্রিকশনটা ভুলে গিয়ে ওইখানে গিয়ে আমাদের যে এক্সিস্টেন্স আছে ওইটাকে আরো তুলে ধরতে চাই, ওইটা করতে গিয়ে হয়তো আমরা ভুলে যাই যে আমরা আমাদের যে আছে তার সীমানা বাড়িয়ে গেছি। গত বছরই আমাদের ভারতীয় এক মেয়ে ওর ইনস্টাগ্রাম অ্যাকাউন্টে ওর জীবনশৈলী প্রদর্শন করে, তো জীবনশৈলী প্রদর্শন করতে করতে হয়তো এমন ভাবেই ভুলে গিয়েছিল ওর সেফটি, ও ঝর্ণার উপর থেকে পড়ে নিজের প্রাণ হারিয়ে ফেলেছে। এটা বলছি আমি একটা ইনসিডেন্টের কথা, এমন আরো অনেক ইনসিডেন্ট হচ্ছে আমাদের প্রতিনিয়ত। আমরা দেখছি যে রাস্তা দিয়ে বাইক চালিয়ে যাচ্ছে দুই বন্ধু, নতুন বাইক কিনেছে কিন্তু ওই ছবি তুলতে গিয়ে হারিয়ে গেছে। তাছাড়া এসেছে অনলাইন জুয়ার আসর, বিভিন্নখানে আপনারা আসুন টিম বানান, এখানে 11 কোটি টাকা পাবেন, 1 কোটি টাকা পাবেন, কয়জন টাকা পাচ্ছে? টাকা আনতে গিয়ে দেউলিয়া হয়ে পথে বসছে, তারপর কি করছে? গলায় ফাঁসি দিয়ে মারা যাচ্ছে। এগুলি কি লক্ষ্য করছে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া? হ্যাঁ, সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া খুব ভালো করছে, আমাদের সাথে আপনার যোগাযোগ রক্ষা করছে, কিন্তু করতে গিয়ে হয়তো বা কাউকে কেউ বুলি করছে। 46% টাইমস অফ ইন্ডিয়ার মতে 46% মানুষ ইন্ডিয়াতে বুলি হয়েছে। কারণ কেন? সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার মতে, সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার জন্যই নামির গবেষণায় জানা গিয়েছে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে অলমোস্ট 11% মানুষ নিজেদের মধ্যে, বেশিরভাগ ইউথ যারা সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে যুক্ত আছে তার মধ্যে 11% বাইপোলার ডিসঅর্ডার এবং তারা জিএডি তে ভুগছে। এবার আবার দেখা গেছে টাইমস অফ ইন্ডিয়ার প্রতিবেদনে দেখা গিয়েছে, একটি নিউজে দেখা গিয়েছে যে 20% মানুষ অর্থাৎ 20% ইউথ তারা তাদের সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে যে বন্ধু বান্ধব আছে তাদের কখনো দেখাই করেনি। তো আমি সর্বশেষ এটাই বলতে চাই, হ্যাঁ সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া থাকতে পারে অনেক ভালো বিষয়, কিন্তু আমাদের এটাও লক্ষ্য করতে হবে যে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া ইউথের মধ্যে কতটুক বিষ মিশিয়ে দিয়েছে, কতটুক ভুল গতিতে নিয়ে যাচ্ছে, কতটুক ভুল পথে নিয়ে যাচ্ছে, যার জন্য আমাদের যুব সমাজ আমরা যুব শক্তিকে হারিয়ে ফেলছি। ধন্যবাদ।
থ্যাংক ইউ কিষান, ভারী চমৎকার বললে। এবং যে সবচেয়ে বড় কথা খুব প্যাশনের সঙ্গে খুব উৎসাহের সঙ্গে বললে দ্যাট ইজ সামথিং উই অলওয়েজ লুক ফর ইন দ্য ইয়াং জেনারেশন নাও শি ইজ অঙ্কিতা দাস ফ্রম এমবিবি ইউনিভার্সিটি অঙ্কিতা প্লিজ কাম শি উইল বি স্পিকিং এগেইনস্ট দ্য মোশন অঙ্কিতা দাস প্রস্তাবের বিপক্ষে বলবে
এমবিবি করে ডক্টর কি জানো তো
নমস্কার সবাইকে, আমার নাম অঙ্কিতা দাস, আমি এমবিবি ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে এসেছি। আজকে আমি আমাদের মোশনের বিপক্ষে বলবো। এখানে সবাই বলে গেছেন যে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া কিভাবে ক্ষতি করছে, কত ভাব থেকে আমাদের যুব শক্তিকে হানি করার চেষ্টা করছে, কিন্তু লক্ষ্য করছে না যে এটা আমাদের কতটা সাহায্যও করে দিচ্ছে, কতটা ভাবে আমাদের যুব শক্তিকে বিভিন্ন দিক থেকে সামর্থ্য করে তুলছে। আজকালকার দিনে সব থেকে বড় সমস্যার কথা আমি যদি বলি, সেটা হচ্ছে বেসরকারি। মানুষ কিভাবে রোজগার খুঁজে নেবে সেটা বুঝতে পারছে না। সেইখানে যদি কেউ কন্টেন্ট ক্রিয়েশনের মাধ্য দিয়ে তার কিছু টাকা অর্থ ইনকাম করতে পারে, তাহলে সেটা ক্ষতিকর কিসের? কন্টেন্ট আপনি দেখবেন কি না দেখবেন সেটা সম্পূর্ণই আপনার উপর নির্ভর করে। আপনার যদি পছন্দ না হয় তাহলে আপনি দেখবেন না, কিন্তু যেখানে ওরা ওদের অর্থ উপার্জন করতে পারছে সেই জন্য তারা ওইটাকে করছে। সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া আমাদেরকে লিঙ্কডইনের মতন এরকম একটা প্ল্যাটফর্ম দিয়েছে, যেখানে 1.15 বিলিয়নের বেশি মানুষ একত্র হতে পেরেছে। যদি আমি রেটের কথা বলি, পুরো বিশ্বতে সিলেক্ট করছে যেখানে কখন একজন চাকরি পাবে কিনা সেটার কোনো সিউরিটি নেই। 90 মিলিয়নের মানুষ এখানে চাকরি খুঁজতে আসে এবং 80%-এরও বেশি কোম্পানির এখানে রিক্রুটমেন্ট দেয়। এই যে যোগাযোগটা হতে পেরেছে আমাদের মধ্যে, সেটা কি সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া ছাড়া সম্ভব ছিল? তাহলে এটাকে ক্ষতিকর বলে আমি এটাকে দোষী করছি কেন? আমাকে এটা শিখতে হবে যে আমি কিভাবে এটাকে ভালোভাবে ইউজ করতে পারি। এটা হয়ে গেল আমার প্রফেশনাল নেটওয়ার্কিং এর কথা। আমি যদি ছোটখাটো বিজনেসগুলোর কথা বলি, কেউ কলকার কাজ জানে, একটা ডিজাইন বানাতে পারছে, হ্যান্ডক্রাফট করতে পারছে, সে তার অ্যাকাউন্টের মাধ্যমে প্রমোট করতে পারছে, ডিরেক্টলি তাদের কাস্টমারদের সাথে যোগাযোগ করতে পারছে। না হলে এই বিজনেসগুলো তারা কিভাবে প্রমোট করতে পারতো? এখানে সব থেকে বেশি বাড়ি ঘরের মহিলারা, মেয়েরা ওদেরকে করতে দেখা যায়। ওদেরকে কেউ অনেক সময় সাপোর্টও করে না যে তোমরা বাইরে গিয়ে তোমাদের জীবনটাকে এভাবে গড়ে তুলতে পারো। সেই জন্য সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া ওদেরকে এই জায়গাটা করে দিচ্ছে। আর আমরা সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াকে খারাপ বলে এটাকে ফেলে দেবো, ইউজ করব না। আমরা অবশ্যই শিখবো যে কিভাবে এটাকে আমরা ভালোভাবে ইউজ করব। তো এখনই আমার পূর্ববর্তী বক্তারা বলে গেলেন ওখানে আমি টাকা লাগাবো তাহলে ওটা ডুবে যাবে। কেউ বলছে মেন্টাল হেলথের ইস্যু। মেন্টাল হেলথের ইস্যু কি আজকে প্রথমবার এসেছে? সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া আসার পরে এসেছে না, একদমই না।
যে পারে থ্যাংক ইউ
সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া একটা খবরকে তাড়াতাড়ি ছড়ানোর জন্য সাহায্য করছে। তারা এবার এটাকে ফেক নিউজ ছড়াচ্ছে। এটা সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার দোষ, ওই প্ল্যাটফর্মটার দোষ। যখন কেউ একজন রোগী হসপিটালে ভর্তি আছে, তখন ব্লাড গ্রুপের দরকার, তাড়াতাড়ি করে কমিউনিটি গ্রুপগুলোতে পোস্ট করছি আমরা এই ব্লাড গ্রুপটা আমার দরকার। তখন তো এই বৈশিষ্ট্যটাকে আমরা কাজে লাগাচ্ছি, এই ফিচার্সটাকে কাজে লাগাচ্ছি। এবার কেউ এটাকে খারাপভাবে ব্যবহার করছে বলে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া খারাপ, প্ল্যাটফর্মটা খারাপ। এটা কোন ধরনের আমাদের নীতিযুক্ত সম্বন্ধ হয়ে গেল? আমি মেনে নিচ্ছি যে কিছু কন্টেন্ট হয়তো বা আছে যেটা যুব সমাজকে ক্ষতি করছে, সেই পার্টিকুলার ক্রিয়েটারের দোষ যে ওই কন্টেন্টটা বানানো। আমি প্ল্যাটফর্মটাকে কেন দোষ দেবো? ওই সেম প্ল্যাটফর্মে কেউ কোডিং শেখাচ্ছে, কেউ সফটওয়্যার ডিজাইনিং শেখাচ্ছে, যেটা ইউথকে স্কিল ডেভেলপমেন্ট করতে সাহায্য করছে। আর আমরা করছি প্ল্যাটফর্মের দোষ, সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার দোষ। এটা কি মানুষ হিসাবে আমাদের দায়িত্ববোধ না থাকার পরিচয় নয়? বলা হয় আমরা উন্নত মস্তিষ্কের অধিকারী। তাহলে আমাদের মস্তিষ্ক কোন কাজের জন্য যদি আমাদেরকে মানুষ চুটকি মেয়ে বোকা বানিয়ে দিয়ে চলে গেল? আমাদের এটা আমরা কবে ব্যবহার করতে পারবো? সেটাকে আমাদের অবশ্যই ব্যবহার করা শিখতে হবে। দেখা গেছে যে ইন্ডিয়াতে শিক্ষার হার যেমনই হোক না কেন, ডিজিটাল লিটারেচির হারটা অনেকটাই কম। সেই জন্য আমাদের ওটাকে বাড়াতে হবে এবং সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াকে সতর্কতা বাড়ানোর একটা মেইন ফিচার হিসেবে আমরা ইউজ করতে পারি। ওখানে যদি আমরা কোনো একটা ভিডিও শেয়ার করি তাহলে এটা সবার আগে পৌঁছে যাবে। তারপর এডুকেশন পারপাসে বললে এডুকেশনে কি না হয়েছে, যে কোনো এক্সামের জন্য গ্রামের ছেলে মেয়েরা যাদের কাছে বিরাট টাকা পয়সার অধিকারী তারা নয়, তারা ফ্রিতে এডুকেশন নিতে পারছে ইউটিউবের জন্য। এনপিটিএল এর মতন উদ্যোগ এসেছে আমাদের সামনে, যেখানে আইআইটি এনআইটির মতো টিচার্সরা, প্রফেসরসরা ক্লাস নিচ্ছে আর আমরা বাড়িতে বসে দেখতে পাচ্ছি। না হলে আমাদের মতন ছাত্রছাত্রীদের পক্ষে সেটা কোনোদিন সম্ভবই হতো না। আর আমরা বলছি সোশ্যাল মিডিয়া আমাদের খারাপ করে দিচ্ছে। আমি সর্বশেষে বলতে চাইবো যে প্রত্যেক জিনিসকে ভালোভাবেও ব্যবহার করা যায়, খারাপভাবেও ব্যবহার করা যায়। নিশ্চয়ই আপনারা হ্যাকার্সের সম্বন্ধে জেনেছেন। হ্যাকার্স আছে হোয়াইট হেড হ্যাকার্স, আবার আছে ব্ল্যাক হেড হ্যাকার্স। হোয়াইট হেড হ্যাকার্সে কি করছে? আমাদের সেফটির জন্য, সোসাইটিকে ভালো রাখার জন্য কাজ করছে। আর ব্ল্যাক হেড হ্যাকার্সে কি করছে? তারা সোসাইটির খারাপের জন্য খারাপ করছে। তার জন্য কি আমি হ্যাকিংটাকে খারাপ বলে দিতে পারছি? তারা যদি অপোজিট সাইড থেকে প্রোটেস্ট না করতো তাহলে তো ওরা লুটে নিয়ে যেত। আমাদের জানতে হবে যে আমরা এই অস্ত্রটাকে, সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াকে কি করে ভালোভাবে ব্যবহার করব। পুরোপুরি আমাদের থেকে দোষ সরিয়ে সোশ্যাল মিডিয়ার প্ল্যাটফর্মকে দোষ দিয়ে আমরা আমাদের দায়িত্ববোধ না থাকার পরিচয় দেব। এই বলে আমি আমার বক্তব্য শেষ করছি। সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ।
ধন্যবাদ অঙ্কিতা। এবি ইউনিভার্সিটি থেকে অঙ্কিতা আমাদের সামনে বলল এই প্রস্তাবের বিপক্ষে। এবারে নাও মাই রিকোয়েস্ট our last participant for the motion. He is Anish Soni from SGMC. Anish, please come.
AGMC ID के रहोगे AGMC ID के रहोगे डॉक्टर लाइन
Hi, good evening everyone present here. And today I will be speaking in motion of whether social media is harmful, and I would say that yes, social media is harmful. But first of all, moving on into this particular subject, we need to know that a coin has got two sides, right? And social media would be having a good side and a bad side. It is not just applicable with social media, it goes with everything. Everything has got a good side and a bad side. Now, how am I going to decide that this thing is particularly good, this thing is particularly bad, and in total this thing is going to be good for me or not? So what I want to conclude here is that social media has got so many harmful effects that people are actually trying to just layer those small benefits which it might be giving me and saying that social media in total might be very beautiful for me. So okay, let's just talk about the factual things right in here. Okay, so some of us mentioned in here that people are using LinkedIn in social media, and they included LinkedIn in the social media, and they are saying that social media might be good. How many LinkedIn users do you think in this world do we have? Anyone? Okay, so LinkedIn users might be less than 1 billion. Okay, how many Instagram users, WhatsApp users, and these TikTok users do we have? They are way more higher than that. Okay, let's talk about the TikTok right in here. Why do you think that India, which is one of the fastest growing country in this world, banned TikTok? Some of us were praising TikTok, that TikTok is good, just providing these influencers, so-called influencers, which are doing pretty great in this life. Okay, how do you think that India decided that TikTok should not be working anymore in this country? There was some particular reason behind that, and they said that it is hard, it is affecting it in such a bad way that we need to take some strict actions regarding that. Let's talk about some of the factual data which I have in here. Around $650 billion loss was incurred by the world just because of this social media. Can you believe it? $650 billion. Okay, let's talk about the American Journal of Preventive Medicine. Okay, so they just recently published a study according to which the people who are spending their time on the social media are 2 times less social than people who don't spend their time on the social media. We are talking about, okay, I'm able to make so many friends using the social media. Let's talk about how many real friends do we have. We are only able to make superficial friends using the social media, and we are saying I have got 200 followers, 300 followers, 500 followers. They're actually not your real friends. They won't even come to help you out when you would actually need. Which kind of friend would be coming in my need? The friends which I made in my college, in my school, or my childhood friends, something like that. Okay, let's talk about 32% of the work time is wasted by the people who are working in their office. 32% of the time. It means that I'm getting 30% less profit in the entire corporate section. So people are wasting their time on the social media. Let's talk about the dopamine hits. I'm constantly scrolling these reels, and what about the time span? I have personally faced this thing that I'm not able to, I don't like movies anymore. Why? Because I don't want to focus on that 3-hour thing to get the rush at the end of it. I don't want to see what the climax is. I just want to watch this 30-second reel and just scroll that and see that what happens in that, right? Okay, and many people were talking about that, how we're going to spread the information and all of that. I think newspapers, news, these are the sources which are actually going to help us out. And in the past, we have also witnessed that newspapers and news have been one of the most reliable sources. And I think everyone must have heard in their lives that my life is an open book. Many people say that my life is an open book. Let me tell you something. Everybody of your life is an open book. Everybody's lives is an open book today. Why? I'm talking to my friend. I'm talking to some famous dish which is there in Agartala, and next second I get it on my Instagram. How am I getting it? The entire algorithm has been based on that particular thing only, that it will be capturing all of my information. Do we have any kind of filter in there? No, we don't have. It is not like it will be listening, oh, he's talking about food, let's not talk about his bank account, let's not listen to what are his bank account information. It will listen every single thing which is there, okay, and then it will use it. How many times has Zuckerberg been dragged into the court? He has been dragged multiple times and he was not able to answer even a single question. Why was it? Because he knew that there is a fault. The entire meta is fault. Instagram, Facebook, everything. Okay. So apart from that, some people were saying that there are a lot of content creators. Very good for them. How many good content creators do we have? How many students do we have who have wasted their life just because of this social media? So we are using this small thing and just trying to cover it up, the entire pile which is backing up there, and we are trying to make it as if the entire thing is good, entire thing is flawed. Some of the things might be good, but as I mentioned earlier, we have to look at the bigger picture. And when we look at the bigger picture, I think it is one of the most flawed things and we need to do something very seriously about it. Okay, I've got only 2 questions. First question, how many of you follow Gandhiji or any famous freedom fighter? Nobody does, because there is no they are not on Instagram or any other social media app. There is a reason. If such a big independence movement happened without social media, everything can be accomplished. And the final things, I think my parents have started saying that just keep your phone aside. Why? Because if one of the wisest people in my life are saying, then something definitely must be flawed with my life. I need to work on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anish Soni from LGMC. The last speaker for the motion this evening in this competition. Now may I request Vishal Mishra, he is from NIT Agartala. He'll be speaking against the motion. Yeah, Vishal, go ahead.
Hello. A very good evening to all, and I'm Vishal Mishra from NIT Agartala, here to speak against the motion. And let me first actually tell of some finer details. As one of the proponents here actually told about small details, let me actually revisit that small detail. The social media industry is $134 billion industry. It has millions of people as users and employees. That number is nowhere small. Okay. Second of all, one proponent actually suggested here, it incurred $650 billion loss to this world. Please, my friend, if you are here presenting any number, first provide the source, and second, how it actually did. Don't just randomly throw the numbers. Okay. Third, yes, I accept followers are not my friend. I never befriended any follower, but followers are my reach. If I have any idea, any information that I need to spread, if I have thousands and millions of followers, how will I? They are not my friends. No one can have a million friends. They have a million people reach. And that's how I treat them. I treat them as a reach of my spread of information. Second, next point. They mentioned newspaper and television was one of the most reliable. Yes, they were. Not anymore. Have you not heard about the farm protest that happened here? Indian media was bashed by the complete world, by the UN, and most of the countries bashed it. Times actually forecasted the farm protest in the really positive light. Social media actually supported the farm protest. And what about that emergency? There are multiple documentaries, there are multiple papers which actually suggested that during the emergency, government tried their best to hide their propaganda and to spread their own propaganda. They spreaded false information. The very famous movie, I don't remember, Bobby, yes, whatever, some movie. It was just produced just for the emergency itself. The DD reporters have literally said that government have actually gave them paper to read, and that's why they used to read the lines given by the government itself to spread the propaganda. Social media gives the power to people to actually control that flow of power. It is spread to millions of people. That's why no propaganda is spreaded. Whatever people actually deem that, okay, this seems credible, some credible information is there, that is what is spreaded. That's how the algorithm is working right now. And yes, I do not follow any freedom fighter. You know why? Because they are dead.
Boy Mela,
They
Boy Mela.
fought for the country and they died for the country, and I'm proud of it. And I do know about them. Throughout the social media, there are multiple content. They actually teach you about freedom fighters. If someone has asked that how many of us follow the freedom fighters, I will ask how many of us here know about those freedom fighters through social media. And I think there will be number of hands raising right now. Now, I would like to actually talk about the education aspect, because I'm actually from Kota. I studied from Kota. I stayed there for 6 years, and let me tell you, lakhs of rupees are actually given for the fees of a single student for a single year. Do you even believe that apart from any school education fees, a coaching industry is asking for more than 1 lakh? Let me tell you the raw number that I was there. It was 1,45,000 for a dropper and 1,35,000 for a 12th or 11th student. Is this a fees that a student can afford or any parent in India can afford? No. But through education, COVID-19 came, there was a really hard time that we couldn't meet anyone outside. Social media was the one who actually supported a lot of people with mental health issues who were isolated. And throughout the social media platform, a lot of education institutes came forward. There were those platforms which actually provided a course in 7,000 rupees. My own friend actually studied for 4,500 for 2 years. That's an impossible number without a social media platform. Education and the spread of information is our right, and social media delivers it in its full extent. And about the mental health issues and aspects and false innovation, there is government. It's hard and it's tough, but we should not actually run away from hard and tough stuff. We need to actually face them. We need to regulate the social media in a way that we can control the false media information and cyberbullying. There are cyberbullying cases, but there are people who have actually saved themselves from their own mental health through social media. I actually concur with one of the opponents here of the motion that in this day and age, in this era, we need to actually find the harmony between a physical flow of information and media. Media literacy is a must at this time, and it's a high time that we actually go for it. Social media has both the aspects, but let me say, we should not disregard it by just saying that, okay, there are harmful aspects. There are really many positive aspects. Just by regulation and spreading the media literacy in our youth, in our generation, we can actually win this war of social media. Thank you, and I would